From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, this is Jonathan Blaze with the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. We'll be covering a period of today, Thursday, May 29th, through the middle of next week on Wednesday. So the upcoming weather pattern across the area, we are in an unsettled pattern really for the next few days as a large eastern U.S. trough at the higher levels, upper levels of the atmosphere kind of moves across the area both today, Friday, and even Saturday into early Sunday. With that, we have a moist air mass across the area. You can see for the slide here for tomorrow with frontal zone kind of extending just to our north and another front extending in the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys. That front we see here extending in this region is going to push east during the afternoon and evening and bring a band of showers and storms to the area during the afternoon and evening. But before we get to those storms tomorrow afternoon and evening, we have a disturbance that's going to move across our area this afternoon and this evening, and it'll bring another shot of rain, some showers, and even a few embedded thunderstorms to the area, bring another round of precipitation similar to what we've had really for the past few days. And again, that front will push east on Friday afternoon and evening. It'll bring a band of strong to possibly severe storms through the area. That front and band of storms will move off the coast on Friday night into early Saturday, and we'll have a northwesterly wind across the area. A second front and disturbance will move across the area on Saturday afternoon. That will bring a more limited but still reasonable chance of showers and storms, especially to the north and east of Raleigh. A few of those could be strong. For Sunday, we have high pressure that builds into the area, which results in a fairly nice day with a good deal of sunshine, but cooler temperatures. By Monday, a little weak disturbance moves along the front that's near our coast with a little area of low pressure. That could bring some clouds and even a limited threat of some light rain to the eastern areas on Monday. And then high pressure will build into the area for Tuesday, Wednesday, and likely Thursday. That will bring a warm up to the area with temperatures finally getting above normal and feeling a little bit more summer-like as highs get back well into the 80s, perhaps upper 80s in a few locations. So looking at some details here, first looking at the severe weather risk for today, we have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across the area. Today's threat is a level 1 out of 5. The main threat really is for some localized downburst winds associated with heavy rain falling out of thunderstorms. The greatest threat will be anywhere from about 3 to perhaps 10 p.m. tonight. And to be honest, the greatest threat is going to be across the southeastern areas, especially south and east of Raleigh. So the bigger threat might be near Goldsboro and Fayetteville and even down toward Lumberton and those kind of areas. The threat today really is rather limited, but it's still out there that a few storms could have some precipitation loading and some localized downburst winds. The bigger threat and the biggest weather hazard we have of the week arrives on Friday. And we'll have some sprinkles and some clouds in the morning, but for the most part, the good part of the day Friday will be hazard-free. However, during the afternoon, a band of thunderstorms will organize just east of the mountains a little bit after midday. That line of thunderstorms will likely extend from southern Virginia across North Carolina into South Carolina. And as it sweeps east, it will bring a threat of damaging winds, large hail, and even a small risk of an isolated tornado. The timing of the band of storms looks like it's likely to move through the triad, maybe between 3 and 6 p.m., push further east, kind of reaching that US 1 area, including the Triangle area, perhaps between 5 and 8 p.m., and then push further east, reaching Interstate 95 and the coastal plain, including Fayetteville and Rocky Mount, perhaps between 6 and 9. It should be a fairly manageable storm in terms of tracking it on your radar. And apps, you'll see the band probably organize and kind of sweep across the area, so that should be fairly predictable. The timing is a little bit, maybe an hour earlier, hour later, but you should be able to kind of watch the progression of that severe weather threat move across the area. It should be east of our area and away from us, and we should probably have an all clear, I would think, by 10 or 11 p.m. at the latest. And again, all hazards are on the table for tomorrow, but the greatest threat will likely be for damaging winds and hail, and that's really area-wide across central North Carolina. On Saturday, that initial front moves off the coast, but we have a secondary front drop in across the area, and there could be a few thunderstorms that afternoon. the coverage will be much more limited than tomorrow, which will have widespread storms. But the greatest threat will be probably from Raleigh north and east. And not everybody tomorrow is going to see showers or storms, and only a few places really have a risk of any kind of strong or severe storms. And again, that's especially in the eastern areas and northeastern areas. The timing on that should range between about 3 and 8 p.m. With kind of an all clear after 9. And if we look at the severe thunderstorm potential for the next 8 days, really all the weather hazards in terms of storms and convection is going to be focused on the next 3 days, with the greatest risk expected on Friday, which is a level 2 out of 5 and somewhat of a concern certainly for us. Looking at rainfall amounts over the next 5 days, we'll have, again, an area of showers, some steadier rain, and even a few thunderstorms develop later early this afternoon across southern and western North Carolina. That will sweep and move north and east across the area this evening. So a lot of folks will experience another quarter inch, maybe half inch of rain. That system moves off and out of our area by around midnight or a little bit after that. We'll have a lull for Friday morning into the midday hours, and then we'll have that band of storms move across the area, again with rainfall amounts averaging maybe a quarter to half inch. Saturday, the rainfall will be very limited. Again, that will be the isolated and widely scattered showers and storms, especially to the north and east of Raleigh. Sunday's depiction here does show a little bit of rain, but to be honest, Sunday's going to be the best weather day of the weekend. There is a potential for a little bit of a disturbance to move along the coast. That could bring a few sprinkles and some spotty light rain very late Sunday night into Monday. And that's why this area here on Sunday is painted with a few splotches. The rainfall potential is a little bit better on Monday morning, and especially toward the coast. This should not be a significant weather deal. So looking at the rainfall totals for the 5 days, we'll probably average between a half inch and an inch across much of the area. Another much significant kind of rainfall that will continue this pattern of unsettled and wet weather we've had really for the past couple weeks. Hurricane season begins on June 1st, which is Sunday. No tropical cyclone activity is expected across the Atlantic basin for the next several days, and this period does extend into June. So we included that slide this morning talking about how no storms and no threat is expected, but the hurricane season does start in just a couple of days. Looking further ahead, we do get a return to a ridge across the eastern United States, and that should result in a warm-up beginning the middle of the week coming up. And that will likely extend into the second week of June. So there's a reasonably good chance, a 50 to 60% chance of above normal temperatures during that period of the second week of June, and a just slightly better than normal chance of above normal precipitation across the area. It's not a strong signal for precipitation differences or departures from climatology, but definitely an idea that we will likely get at least a little bit above normal in terms of temperatures after what has been a seemingly cool many weeks here in June. Looking at the graphical hazard outlook, today we have just a limited threat of just a couple strong, maybe severe storms across the area, with the main threat being wind. With those thunderstorms, there is a threat of some lightning and locally heavy rain, of course. Friday is going to be the big weather day across the area, and just about everybody's going to experience some storms. Those storms will bring a risk of strong and damaging winds and hail, a small but non-zero chance of a tornado on Friday, and with widespread thunderstorms, we do expect a pretty good significant threat of lightning as well. And again, some excessive rain. And the weather hazards tend to tail off a little bit as we head into Saturday and to certainly early next week, which is much appreciated. So looking at the weather summary, we talked about the cool weather kind of continuing for the next several days. It'll be unsettled certainly into Saturday. Disturbance moves across the area this afternoon tonight, and it brings another area of rain and some showers and a few storms. A cold front will move across the region on Friday afternoon and evening. That'll bring a band of strong to possibly severe storms. Again, probably will only storm or have rain and heavy rain for just an hour or two in most locations as that moves east. So much of the day Friday will be okay, but keep an eye out for that band of storms moving across the area. Still remaining cooler on Saturday. and with just a slight chance of a storm, especially north and east of Raleigh. And a warm up again arrives middle of next week. Hitting the hazards once again, today's threat is very localized in terms of a strong or serious storm, mainly north and east of Raleigh. The big concern again is on Friday. We have all hazards on the table for Friday's severe weather. And then the localized risk of storms on Saturday afternoon, again, mainly north and east of Raleigh. Look for the forecast table for Raleigh here at the bottom of the screen, and it's nice to see some sunshine icons showing up here for Sunday and especially Monday and Tuesday when the warm-up begins, so many of us will look forward to that. With all of that, that's what I have for today's weekly briefing. I'll stand by for any questions. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great